The objective of this training is just to go through the basics of Aspen HYSYS. What are the basics of the Aspen HYSYS and how we can use this tool in various applications. Aspen HYSYS is basically a software which we are using mainly in oil and gas industry. We will start what are the basics of process modeling and what are the various types of models available, what are the various tools available in the market, and how we can choose that tool for our particular applications. And then we will go through the interface of the Aspen HYSYS. What are the various options available in Aspen HYSYS and how we can use those options for applications. This modeling is basically a computer modeling techniques used in our chemical engineering process design. It basically involves the purpose-built software to define a system of interconnected components. What do you mean by the purpose-built software? The meaning of the purpose-built softwares are because there are n number of simulators available in the market. Each and every simulators has their own significance for a particular applications. For example, if we are going to simulate the sour water system, then definitely you will get the result from the Aspen HYSYS as well as Aspen Plus also. But the result which you will be getting in Aspen HYSYS or Aspen Plus will not be as much reliable as you can get for those sour system result from the Promax software. So this is basically the meaning of the purpose-built software. If you are going to simulate the oil and gas and refinery, then definitely for oil and gas and refinery, HYSYS is having very strong database and you can simulate it into the HYSYS. But if you want to simulate the chemicals, if you want to simulate the process which involves mainly chemicals, specialty chemicals, then you will have to go for the Aspen Plus software, because Aspen Plus software is having the much better database, or you can say correlations for the chemicals as well as specialty chemicals in that. Please let me know if anybody is not able to hear my voice. Please drop me a message immediately. So what is the need of the simulation? We are basically doing the simulation. We are basically doing the simulation for various purposes. Let's say if you are working in an organization where new processes are being developed, so based on the laboratory information and R&D, we are going to develop a new process. For that also, we do the simulation. And if you are doing the working in a plant in production department, then sometimes before doing any trial in our plant, to carry out the any troubleshooting, to do the any changes in the process, rather than carry out that changes actually in the plant, first we do that changes in the model itself and see its impact on other parameters. If it is within our acceptable limit, then definitely we go for the actual plant for that troubleshooting. Next is properties calculation and training of operator. Properties calculation means sometimes what happens, if you are working in any EPC firm, engineering, procurement, design, and construction firm, in these firms, we are actually not simulating the entire plant, refinery, but what happens, we require to calculate the properties of the stream. Like sometimes we are supposed to calculate the bubble point of at any particular condition for any particular stream. Sometimes we used to calculate the dew point, and sometimes any other properties if we want to calculate. So for that purpose also we are using these HYSYS tools to calculate to estimate the properties at that particular conditions. Next is the training of the simulators. This is training of operators through OTS model. It's itself a different sector. For example, nowadays, if any organization is going to purchase a DCS, distributed control system, to control their plant, to control their operation, they are using the DCS. So nowadays, DCS vendor, or you can say DCS supplier, are also providing the OTS model to the customer. The purpose of this OTS model is that if a new joinee is coming to the plant, or any GET is joining a plant, so one option is GET will be associated with any experienced person in the plant. GET will be associated with any senior person of the plant, which is who is having the experience of that plant. Let me see if anybody is not able to join. Please note that. Okay, please allow us to. So the training of there is some disturbances. Can you please allow me to unmute all the others? Hello. So let me start once again. Now, hello. Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So we were discussing about the need of the simulation. Hello. Shall we continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we were discussing about the need of the simulation. So the requirement of the simulation is for various purpose. Let's say we are working in an organization where we are developing the new process. To develop the new process also, we are supposed to carry out the simulation based on the laboratory data and all. Next, if you are working in a plant or you are working in any production unit and you are going to change or you are going to do some trial in your plant, so rather than jumping into the trial phase, what we are doing is we are basically carry out this test into the simulation and see its impact on the other parameters. If it is acceptable or it is not deviating or operating conditions and it is within our operating range, then we are doing that changes in the actual plant. Next is properties calculation. Many of us are working in the EPC form, engineering, procurement and design form, where what we are doing is we are basically supposed to calculate the properties of the streams, many streams. Sometimes we are calculating the bubble point, sometimes we are calculating their dew point. So for that purpose, we are using this HYSYS tool. Next, we were discussing about the training of operators through the OTS model. This is very interesting area nowadays, as many of you are working in the plant or maybe you are in the college and you went for the summer training and all. You must have seen the control room. From the control room itself, we are operating the plant. We are operating the plant. So what you have observed, if any new GET if new joinee is coming to the plant, what he is supposed to do? He will basically go through the basics of that particular plant. Means first he or she will go through the block flow diagram, then process flow diagram, and understand the entire process of that unit. Then he or she will be associated with the panel operators who is operating the plant through the DCS. This way he or she will continue their training. This is one process, and this step is very long, and you require very long duration for this kind of training. to minimize this training period, what is happening nowadays is, if the client is opting for any DCS, distributed control system, for any plant, the DCS vendor is providing you the OTS model. The OTS is basically the operator training simulator model. In OTS model, what we are doing is we are basically preparing the model of that particular unit into the HYSYS, and it will be in the dynamic mode, and there will be one other system where we will be having the exact replica of the DCS screenshot that you will be actually seeing in the control room. So first you will get the training on these operator training simulator, and once you are trained on this, you will be deployed into the actual plant to run the plant. Next is the rating, sizing of the equipment, various relief system, energy analysis. So by using the HYSYS simulator itself, we are doing the rating and sizing activity of the equipment. We are also doing the study of the relief system. We can carry out the pinch analysis. What you can see is Aspen, by using the tool called Aspen Energy Analyzer. Previously, we used to call it as Aspen. It was coming in different package earlier. We can also do the economic analysis. Economic analysis means if you have developed the simulation of your plant, so what will be the economic, like we used to carry out the manual calculation in our college day by use. So all these activity can be carried out by using the Aspen HYSYS tool. Then we have the flare system analysis and other analysis like deep string and go down. So these all are the activity nowadays we can also carry out by using the one tool, that is Aspen HYSYS. By using a single tool, Aspen HYSYS, we can carry out all these activity. Once you have installed that Aspen HYSYS, doesn't matter which version you are using, whether it is Aspen HYSYS version 8.8, 9, 9.1, 10, or 11, you will get all these options into that. The only difference is you have to find out that which option is available at which location. This is the only difference. Else, all these options are available in the HYSYS 8.8 version onwards. In HYSYS 8.8 version onwards, if you are using any version of that HYSYS, you will find all these options like energy analysis, heat exchanger analysis, economic analysis, flare system analysis, deep string and blowdown. Everything you will find in any version of the HYSYS. Next, what are the types of the simulation? They basically, when we are carrying out the simulation study, we must be having some objective that for what purpose we are doing the simulation. So based on that, we have categorized the simulation into two types, like steady state simulation and dynamic simulation. The difference between steady state simulation and dynamic simulation is that once you have done some changes in your process, you will immediately be able to see the output because of that changes. You will not be able to see how the parameters are changing with the time. Then it is called as the steady state simulation. In short, in steady state simulation, you will not be able to see the variation with respect to the time. You won't be able to see. Whereas in dynamic simulation, you will be able to see that when you had at time t equal to 0, your condition was something, and you had made some changes in the process, and after, let's say, 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, because of that changes, your condition has been changed. So during this time, how the parameters are changing with respect to time, you can study, you see all those things in dynamic simulation. Now, what are the various simulation tools? As we know that there are n number of simulators available in the market. Those people who are working in the industry, they must be knowing that in their organization, people are using Aspen Plus. Somebody will say that they are using the ChemCAD. Somebody will say that they are using Unisim. So likewise, there are n number of simulators available in the market. The only difference is where you are working and in which sector you are working. That is basically the governing factor for using the different simulation tools. Let's say if you are working in any organization which mainly handles the oil and gas and refinery projects, so for that Aspen HYSYS will be the better option compared to the Aspen Plus. So Aspen HYSYS and Unisim and Petrosim, these all are the major software that are basic, along with Pro2. Aspen HYSYS, Pro2, Unisim and Petrosim, these all are the 4 softwares that are basically, or you can say majorly used in the oil and gas and refinery sector. But if you are working for a plant which handles the chemicals or specialty chemicals, to simulate your process for the involving chemicals and involving chemicals and the specialty chemicals, we used the Aspen Plus tools for that. So I have listed down only few simulator tools available, even though there are so many other softwares available in the market. This is just for our understanding that what are the various simulators available in the market and how we can select one tool with respect to the other, which can predict the better result for our particular applications. And if you have got the options that for my application, Aspen HYSYS is suitable, as well as Unisim is also suitable, and Petrosim is also suitable, and Pro2 is also suitable. If, for example, if you have arrived at a position that for your application, Aspen HYSYS, Pro2, Unisim and Petrosim is predicting the better result, so which one you will be going to select? If among these 4 softwares, all these 4 softwares are predicting the better result, then your next option will be the economics. Economic means which softwares is the cheap or having the less price compared to the others. You will go for that. These 2 are the selection criteria of the simulators. Now let's go to the HYSYS interface familiarization. This is the HYSYS interface, and you can see that there are so many options available at the top. There are so many options available at the top. Those options are also available. Few options are also available at here. Like here you will find the component list, fluid package, and other options also which you can find here. They are also listed at this location. This is basically the environment where you will be entering the let's understand it like this. Suppose you are going to develop a model in Aspen HYSYS. Suppose you are going to develop a model in the HYSYS. Just compare your example with the actual plant. Means if you are working in a plant, what is there? You must be having the raw material that you are allowing to come into the plant, and you are processing that raw material and converting into the product and sending it to the other plant or battery limit. So likewise, if you are going to start develop the model of that process, so here also you will have to introduce, here you will also have to introduce those raw material into the model. So in this sense, we can say we are supposed to enter the raw material into the model. So that raw material is basically will be your components that will be involved in conducting the various calculations. Those components may be pure components, hypothetical components, or if you are working for the refinery or any petrochemicals, you may come across about the assay that you will have to characterize and break down into the pseudo components. Then you will proceed for the simulation. So we will go through about pure component, hypo component means hypothetical components, then assay characterization means you are having a sample, you are having a sample of, you are having an assay, or you can say you are having the distillate at different temperatures. For that process, you are going to simulate. This is the basically HYSYS environment. Here we have mentioned that one thing is that is preference set. The reason why we have mentioned the preference set is that if you are working for a project in India, then there are chances, most likely you will be using the unit system like SI system or something like that. But if you are working for a project in US or UK, then there are chances that you will be using the unit instead of kg, you will be using the pound, something like that. So rather than changing the unit at each and every places in the simulation, before starting the simulation, you just do one thing. You go to the preference set, and preference set you will find it in the file option. Then you will find in file, then you will find the unit of measure here. Unit in, if you are using the earlier version, then you will have to go to the file option, then you will find the options, and from that place you will be able to change the unit. Let's repeat. If you are using the older version of the HYSYS, then you will have to go to the file option, and it from the file, then you will go to the options. From that place, you will be able to change the units of various parameters. But if you are using the HYSYS latest version, that is, I think HYSYS V8.8 onwards, that features has been set over here, unit set. Just click on it over here and change the entire unit which you are supposed to. Somebody is complaining that voice is not, they're not able to hear the voice. Let me know whether voice is clear or not. Can you please, can anybody will confirm that whether the voice is clear or not?
The voice is clear, sir.
Clear.
Okay, fine. So somebody has dropped a message in group, in a WhatsApp group, that your voice is not clear. Okay. So what we were discussing about that means if you are going to start the simulation, this thing I will also repeat while starting the HYSYS. But still, let me explain over here. If we were discussing about the plant, for any plant, you will be having the raw material, and that raw material is coming into the plant, and you are doing the various operations and like reaction, separation, and all those things. Then you are sending it back to the other plant. So that raw material is basically, here is your component set, component list. That component list may be your pure component, or in the form of pseudo component, or in the form of assay. That assay you will characterize and convert it into the pseudo component. Then only you will be able to proceed for the simulation. Then we were discussing about the preference set. Preference set, why we are changing the, going through the preference set and changing the unit. The reason for this is that if you are working for once you open the Aspen HYSYS, it will be showing the default system of unit. Means maybe your pressure is showing at kg kilopascal, and you want to use pressure unit as the kg per centimeter square. So every time whenever you are going to enter the pressure value, you will have to change the unit at that particular location every time. To avoid that repetition, you just go through the unit set and change the entire unit, like flow. If you want kg per hour, make sure here in this list your pressure flow is in kg per hour. Your temperature is in degree centigrade. If your temperature is, no, somebody is saying that I have stopped. Somebody is saying that, okay, I think you close your voice button, or no, I have not closed, my dear. It is working. I have not.
No, sir. It's not for you. It's for that guy, I think.
Okay. Somebody is saying that I think your voice button, or there is a net issue. Okay. So for that reason, we are changing the unit of those before starting the simulation. So now next thing is, after changing the unit, you will jump into the simulation environment. And this, so let's go to let's go to the Aspen HYSYS. I will share the Aspen HYSYS to all of you. I'm just opening the Aspen HYSYS and will share that screen. Okay. Just wait. I'm just opening my Aspen HYSYS file is opening, and I will share that file. It's that screen. I think you people are able to see the HYSYS interface, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is once you open the double click or whatever way you can start the Aspen HYSYS. Once you have started the Aspen HYSYS, your interface will be something like this. Now, as we discussed that if you will compare this with the actual plant, in actual plant, what you are having the raw material. So here also, you will have to introduce the components into the system that you can say as the raw material into the system. That will come into the component list. I will add it. So the the components which you are entering into the system, that component, let's click over here. The components which you are entering into the system, it may be the pure component, it may be the hypothetical component, or it may be the hypothetical solids. Frankly speaking, I have not done any modeling exercise involving solids, so I will not touch that topic. I will touch only the pure component, then hypothetical component, and then we'll go through the crude assay or assay characterization, how we characterize those assay to generate the hypothetical component. We will go through them one by one. So once you have clicked that component list, this kind of thing will appear in front of you. So here you will be, here you can see select, that is pure component. The next is the filter, all families, search for, and search by. Here there are three options like pure components, hypothetical components, and hypothetical solids. I have just now I have discussed one more thing, that is the crude oil or oil characterization. That option is not listed over here. That option you can find from here, oil manager. From oil manager we will characterize the assay and convert those assay into the pseudo component. That again we will go through in the next session. The filter, here filter means basically this is the master component list, or you can say the list of all the components involved in the HYSYS. So you will capture only those components into the into your simulation. Those are actually interacting with each other, or you can say if you are going to simulate your model, maybe you will be needing the methane, ethane, propane, butane, and pentane, like 5 or 6 components. Then you will select only those 5 or 6 components and you will not touch the other components. This is basically the families. All families means hydrocarbons, solid, miscellaneous, then amines, alcohols, ketones. These all are the filters. If you select any filter. Let's say I select the alcohol, then in this list you will find only the alcohol components having OH group, alcohol. If you see the aldehyde, if this is basically the aldehyde group. So what we are doing, while we are doing the simulation, we are not touching this. Just keep it as the at all families. Now next option is search by. Either you can component by using its simulation name or full name or synonyms or formula. There are three options by which you can search your component from the HYSYS library. Let's say here I have selected the full name, means methane. I have selected methane. You will find the methane here. Let's say you have selected the formula. You have selected the formula and you are writing CH4. You will find all the components which have the CH4 species in there. So based on the information available with you, you will be you will be adding the component in your library from the HYSYS database. So let's say I am entering the methane, ethane, propane, let's say I have entered only the four components. Now next option is you have entered the raw. For example, if you compare your model with the plant, now you have entered the raw material into your plant. So in your plant, what is actually happening? There is some unit operations by using any thermodynamic system. You are converting those raw material into the product. So how these components are interacting with each other and how you are going to predict the properties of the stream. So for that we are having the fluid package. It basically tells you that if you want to calculate the properties of the stream, if you want to let's say if you want to calculate the viscosity, if you want to calculate the density or anything, for that there are separate methods available in the HYSYS. By using that method, you will be able to calculate the properties of those streams. So there are n number of fluid package available in the fluid package selection list. Now, which fluid package is suitable for your system? Which fluid package is suitable for your system? For that, I will share one document. You please go through that. By default, or you can say general thumb rule is that if you are working for or developing any simulation model for refinery or petrochemical, then most widely used thermodynamic package is Peng-Robinson and SRK method. Others are also there like Antonyi equation, then ASME. If you are doing the only steam system modeling, then ASME steam will be the best to use that one. If you are using any glycol package, then glycol is there. So for different applications, researchers have developed so many methods and they have listed all those in the HYSYS or any simulator. They have listed down the property package. You can select of them that is best suitable for your application. As I said that for any refinery or petrochemical, Peng Robinson and SRK is most suitable. These are basically most suitable for predicting the properties of the system which involve the vapor liquid equilibrium. Let's say we have selected the Peng Robinson. The moment you select, you will find that your property package is okay. So for your component list 1, you have selected the property package as the Peng Robinson. Wherever you are using the component list 1, you will be using the property package as the Peng Robinson. See, one more thing here is that here I have entered only one component list and one fluid package. In HYSYS, there is no such limitations. You can add n number of component lists in your simulation. There is no limitation in the HYSYS. You can add n number of component lists, and you can have the so many fluid packages which are listed over here that you can add here, and you will have to link one fluid package with the others. Now these all are a little bit advanced, so stop here. We have added only one component list and we have taken the one fluid package. Now you have added one component list and one fluid package. If your fluid package is not compatible with the component list, means let's say if you have entered methane, ethane, propane, butane, if for any of those components this Peng Robinson is not compatible, then the software will pop up a message that this component is not compatible with the Peng Robinson. Now in our case, for those selected components, Peng Robinson is compatible and it is suitable for predicting the properties of all those components. That's why we have got the here message as the OK. Now you have entered the component list now and you have selected the fluid package, or sometimes you will also say that if you go to some other literature, you will find that rather than using the property package selection, people are also saying that thermodynamic package. Both are the same thing. Don't worry about that. Now, next is if you have to go to the simulation environment. Now, you have entered into your simulation environment. This is your simulation environment. I will tell you one thing, those who are using the HYSYS or older version or has used the older version of the HYSYS and they are not feeling comfortable with this interface and they are comfortable with the previous interface, just do one thing, go to the file option, then options, then switch the formatting as the classic and select the OK. Now interface will be something like this. Even though if you are using the HYSYS 8.8 onwards, you can switch back to this screen. Doesn't matter whether you are using that screen or this screen, nothing will change. You will get the same result. Don't worry. This we call as the model template. accidentally if you had closed this and you want to recall that template, what you will do, you have so many options over the home, economics, dynamics, then plan data, equation oriented, views, customize, resources, flow sheeting, and format. Just go to the flow sheeting and click over models and streams. Again, you will be able to recall that. This is the pen. Basically, you can move the screen by using like this. If you are not, if you have not selected this pen option, then what you will be doing, you will be just moving the screen by using this option. If you have selected this pen option, then you will be able to move the screen like this anywhere. So these are the little bit basics. Let's introduce the one stream into the HYSYS. Here you will see that there is two options. View, one is this one. You will be able to see that mixer and its description, what it is doing. T, heater, cooler, heat exchanger, pump, control valve, and all the operations which are available in the HYSYS you can see over here and see its descriptions. Second is your this by default view, you will be able to see only this. This is the blue one is your material stream and this one is the energy stream. Again, once you have selected this all the things will appear over here. All the things will appear. If you select the dynamics and control, only the options which are applicable for the dynamics and control will be available over here like this. Then let's say separators, and we are having this kind of arrangement. Now you have entered into your plant. So you have the inventory in your plant. Now you want to introduce it into your process. So how much raw material is coming into your plant? How much raw material is coming into the plant? That is, let's say this much. How much raw material is coming into your plant and what is its condition, means what is its temperature and what is its pressure. Let's say pressure is 5 kg and temperature is 50 degrees C. Now, as I said earlier that if you have not changed the unit by using the preference set, you will be able to change the unit from here also. You can change the unit here also. You can change the unit from here also, but we are not using that option because if you are using any stream, at every time you will be, what you will do, every time you will click over here and go to the drop down, there are chances of error, there are chances of mistake that you may commit. So to prevent those, it's better to change the units. It's better to change the units by using this unit set in the beginning itself. Now you have introduced the mass flow rate, the pressure and the temperature of that stream. Now what is remaining is unknown composition. The message will pop you that what is the unknown parameter to define this particular stream is unknown composition. Go to the composition tab and enter the composition. Let's say now if you will enter value over here, then ultimately it will open a new window where you can edit. Let's say here, you will come over here. If you have not selected edit option from here and started typing value over here, then it will pop like this, 0.25, let's say 0.25, 0.25 and 0.25. Now you have entered the composition of the streams also. Now select or click the OK option. Now your stream has been defined. These are the only things that you need to input into your system to define the streams. You may say that I don't have the pressure, but I know that this is in gaseous phase. That gaseous phase, that is vapor fraction 1. In that case also you will be able to define. If you don't know the pressure, if you don't know the temperature, if you know the vapor fraction like 1 and don't know the temperature, it will calculate the temperature. So at least you will have to define the mass flow rate, temperature, vapor fraction, or mass flow rate, pressure, vapor fraction. So these 3 kinds of input you will have to provide. Three input you will provide, then only it will calculate the remaining properties. These 3 things may be your vapor fraction, temperature, flow rate, or flow rate, pressure, temperature. Any of these 3 things you can define to calculate the properties. Now go to the properties. Till now, where we have gone through the conditions, then composition. Now go to the properties tab. Here you will be able to see that what is the molecular weight of that particular stream, means combined stream involving, means what will be the molecular weight of the mixed stream which is having these 4 components. So the molecular weight will be 37.08, density will be this, then like so many properties you will find from here. When we are doing the steady state simulation, we will go through only these tabs like condition, composition only. Then next is attachment, then analysis. This analysis is basically if you want to calculate some other properties like critical properties, what will be the phase diagram, what will, like this one, boiling point curve, what will be its CO2 freeze out condition, what are the critical properties. So these things can be calculated by going through this tab, but as of now let's leave it. So now we have defined the streams by providing the temperature, pressure and mass flow rate and this composition. Now my stream is defined this way. Now somebody will say that what is the meaning of this? If you click that delete, then the stream which you have defined in your system, it will gone. Now what is the purpose of this define from stream? Let's check that. We have one more stream and we know that all the conditions of this stream will be same as the stream 1. So rather than defining the temperature, pressure, flow and composition like we did for the stream 1, we will do this like define from stream. We will select the define from stream and select this one and click OK. So my this stream will be defined by using this stream. So this is the meaning of define from stream. So whatever we are discussing, you please practice at your own. If you have any doubt, just email me. I will compile all the questions and discuss in the next session. I repeat, whatever problems you have faced while doing the exercise, just note down all your doubts and email me. I will compile all your doubts and clear one by one in the next session. So sorry. Now, as of now, we had seen that how to enter the components and how to select the thermodynamic package. So up till now, you practice and jot down all your doubts. We will discuss now. Next thing is we will discuss about the hypothetical components.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Are you recording this lecture?
I think yes. We'll yeah. Yes.
So, sir, can you provide this on a YouTube link?
Sure. I will do. No problem. Few people are saying that voice is not coming. I don't know. I have from my side it is okay, and I have tested them all mic also, but maybe few people are saying that voice is not clear. Okay, I will provide, don't worry. So let's discuss one more thing about the hypothetical components. See, sometimes what happens, as of now, just we had discussed about the, just to go through the component list. Now, are you able to see the screen, right? HYSYS interface?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as of now, we had gone through that little bit basics of the Aspen HYSYS, and we have introduced the component into our simulation. Those components which we have introduced into our simulation is the pure component. Okay, so these basically the pure component, or you can say that those components which are already identifiable, which you already knew that these are the components that are involved into my simulation, that you had just selected from the Aspen HYSYS master component list and started your simulation. Next, you may come across a stage that you will be having the only properties like molecular weight, density, and some other properties like boiling point. So these are the three properties. If you have these three properties, or you have the actual component. If you had the actual component, you just select that component by using its formula, by using its full name, whatever, and introduce into your simulation from the master component list, right? But what will happen if you don't know the real name, or you don't know the formula of that component and how you will introduce that component into your simulation. That is basically for that we are having the options like hypo components. So for defining the hypo component, you will select this hypothetical. Now then, if you select the hypo component, there will be you will find the options like this. You will be having the options like this, like hypothetical, create a batch of hypo intervals and all those things. So now you will see that if you are having a sample, if you are having a component, for that you are having either you know either its boiling point, density or molecular weight. If any of these three properties, boiling point, density, molecular weight, you have, by using those you can define your hypo component. Let's see how. You just selected here as the hypothetical component, then hypo group. But if you are going to generate the hypo component, by default it will give the name as the hypo group 1, even though you can rename it, doesn't matter. Method you will select as the create a batch of hypo or create and edit hypo. Now first we will go through the create and edit hypo, and then we will go through the create a batch of hypo, and we'll see what is the difference between these two. Let's say first we are going to generate the pseudo component or hypo component by using the create and edit hypos. Let's say first I'm going to generate the hypo component by using this method. So what will happen? Now click here, new hypo. You have generated the new hypo. As I said that if you know the component name, then you can component name or formula, whatever, then you can just select it and enter into your environment, just like you did for the methane, ethane, propane and butane. But if you don't know the name or its formula, but you know that either it's a normal boiling point of their sample, or you know the molecular weight and density, then by using these also you can define your hypo components and you can introduce those hypo components into your component list. Let's see how. Here name is hypo 20,000 star. This is the by default name. You can edit this also. Let's say I am having a sample. I don't know what is that sample, what is its chemical formula, I don't know what is its what you can say name, I don't know, but we know what is its boiling point. I only know about its boiling point. Then I will enter, let's say, boiling point 250 only, and click the estimate unknown. Now you can see that other properties like molecular weight, liquid density, critical temperature, critical pressure, critical volume, and eccentricity, all these things has been calculated. You had just provided the normal boiling point. By using this normal boiling point, HYSYS has calculated, how you can say HYSYS has estimated its molecular weight, density, critical temperature, critical pressure, critical volume, and eccentricity, all those things. First thing, if you want to define the a hypo component, either you should know the normal boiling point, or you should know the molecular weight and density. Estimate unknown. Either you should know about the point, or you should know the density and molecular weight. First, I have defined the pseudo component by providing the normal boiling point. Now let's define the pseudo component by using the molecular weight and density. Last time we had defined the hypo component by using this molecular weight. You had seen that I have just clicked the estimate unknown, and the remaining properties has been estimated by the HYSYS. This time we are providing the molecular weight and liquid density, and let's say we are going to estimate the unknowns. We have estimated. Now the remaining properties has been calculated by the HYSYS. So now I will summarize that if you want to define the hypo component, you should know the molecular weight, density, or you should know the normal boiling point of that particular sample. Either of two, either normal boiling point or molecular weight and density. If you have the information about any of these two, by using that you can define your hypo component. Now you have defined your hypo component and you want to you want to enter it into your simulation. Just click add and it will be entered over here. One thing. Now let's say we have selected this, create a batch of hypo. The meaning of this is that you are having a sample. Like you have the good sample for which you know its initial, what is its initial boiling point and what is its final boiling point. Those who have studied the petroleum refining technology course, they must be knowing about this crude assay analysis or crude assay characterization. So initial boiling point, final boiling point, based on this you can generate the hypo. Those hypo will be at the temperature interval of 10 degrees C. Means you will be able to get the first hypo component at the temperature of the 30 degree C. Next sample you will be getting at the temperature of the 310, and the next you will be able to get the sample at the temperature of the 320. Let's see how. For this, you had just provided the input as 30 degrees C as the initial and the final boiling point as 900 degrees C. Even though for your case you can edit these things and define the intervals. Now generate the hypo. Now your hypo has been generated. First cut, you will be able to get the 30 at NBP. NBP is basically the normal boiling point at the temperature of the 30 degrees C. Meaning of this, that normal boiling point at temperature 30 degrees C. Like NBP 040 means normal boiling point at temperature of 40 degrees C. So at 30 degrees C, the properties are like this, and 40 degrees are like this. Since our IBP was 30 and FBP was 900, so at the interval of the 10 degrees C, So all the hypo components has been generated from IP32 900°C. Now, if you want to introduce these into your system, just click. If you want to introduce all the hypo components available here into your HYSYS, just click add all. Or if you want to select only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hypo components, just click this only. This way you can introduce the hypo component into your simulation. So please, today we will stop over here, and you please do the practice. And as I said that whatever doubts you are having, you please let me know. You all the doubts, compile all your doubts and send me on my email. I will compile all the questions and clear over here, not one by one, because so that others will also get benefited. I will compile all questions and discuss.
Thank you, sir.